All right, guys, so we got to talk about a story that involves some good news and some bad news, okay? We're going to start with the good news first, as there was a woke employee out in San Francisco who worked at a pizza restaurant that got fired after he tried to kick out police officers from the restaurant, because I'm assuming that this employee is woke, okay? We're talking about San Francisco, probably the wokest city in America. And they were trying to impose their own personal political beliefs on the restaurant. And these officers just came in to get some pizza or some food or whatever. And this employee decided that they weren't welcome and asked them to leave. And it did not work out well for this woke revolutionary who again was doing things that was above his pay grade. Take a look.
New at 6 tonight, no pizza for the badge. An employee at a popular pizza parlor in the city told several SFPD officers over the weekend that they were not welcome in the eatery and asked them to leave. Now, that denial of service launching a quick debate as the owner of the shop offers an apology. But the controversy and the backlash have been slow to cool. Here's NBC Bay Area Sergio Quintana.
At Pizza Squared on Brannan Street near 8th Street, the Monday lunch hour was pretty steady. For a lot of regular customers in the neighborhood spot, this is one of their favorites.
I enjoy the pizza. I like their salads actually better. Today was a quick pizza day though.
Pizza's great. No, really, the pizza's great.
None of the customers we talked with had heard about the weekend incident, but all said they were surprised it had happened here. Since yesterday, several one-star reviews have popped up on Yelp, directly referencing what happened and criticizing the decision to ask the officers to leave. I talked with the owner of Pizza Squared by phone. She says she doesn't want to speak on camera, but tells me that the employee that asked those police officers to leave this weekend was only with them for 4 days. He was a trainee, and he has since been fired. She has also apologized and has been communicating with the San Francisco Police Officers Association about it, something the POA acknowledged on its Twitter feed, tweeting, "We appreciate the owner's swift apology, praise for the hard work our officers do, and the owner's commitment to meeting with the affected officers." This all comes as many communities are again re-examining the role of police departments across the country after Memphis police released graphic videos of several officers beating Tyree Nichols to death during a traffic stop earlier this month. 5 have been fired and criminally charged. 2 more Memphis police officers were fired today. In protests across the country this weekend, some are now pushing for more reforms, including restricting police from certain roles like traffic enforcement. Others say they've gotten to a place where police make them feel more afraid than safe. But it also comes as many San Francisco residents are pushing for more police to help combat the rise in open drug markets, property crimes, and assaults on members of some communities. At the moment, the San Francisco Police Department is understaffed by more than 500 officers. And San Francisco Police Chief Bill Scott says they're having trouble recruiting new cops.
Hold us accountable, make sure that we do things the way we're supposed to do things, but support us. Because if we have a city where police officers are supported, I think people may want to work here rather than not work here.
The San Francisco Police Academy just graduated 12 new officers, and Chief Bill Scott swore them in this weekend. It's one of the smallest graduating class in years. In San Francisco, Sergio Quintana, NBC Bay Area News.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Can you guys imagine the entitlement that you must have to be on the job for the 4th day and then think that, oh, well, it's okay for me to impose my political beliefs on this restaurant by kicking out police officers or asking them to leave the restaurant, right? Again, absolutely insane. It really does show you how entitled some of these people are in this country, okay? Some of these woke activists who take their activism to the extreme, okay? They take it on the job with them, which is a big, big, big no-no, okay? You are costing this company, this business, money, right, by imposing your political beliefs and saying that, hey, police officers are not welcome here. You're turning away money. You're literally saying, hey, we don't want your money because you wear a badge. Absolutely incredible. And I'm glad that this employee got exactly what was coming to him, right? He got fired. Because usually when you hear/see stories like this, in fact, I believe there was another story out of San Francisco as well, too, where police had went into a coffee shop or something like that. May have been a pizza place too. I forget exactly what, but the business actually told police that they weren't welcome there, right? The employees actually kicked the police out, and the business owner was cool with it because the business owner said that, hey, well, my employees or people don't feel comfortable around police, therefore it's okay to kick them out, right? Which to me is insane, okay? Especially in a city like San Francisco, that is crime ridden, that again is being run by thugs and criminals. Because you would think that as a business owner, okay, if I ran a storefront business, I would want police in my facility, right? I would welcome police. I'm like, please come. Okay, well, first and foremost, they're customers, right? They're buying my products, they're buying my food. Okay, that's revenue, but also it's protection, right? You have police there. Therefore, if any thug, right, tries to come in and try something, you got police there. Again, how many times have we seen, stores getting robbed and looted across the country? And you got business owners out here who don't want police to be in the vicinity, considering that there's a chance that they can get robbed. Again, it blows my mind. Okay, just like it blows my mind that you have people that claim that they feel unsafe around the police when, again, you live in a city like San Francisco. Okay, who do you feel more unsafe around? Do you feel more unsafe around the police, or do you feel more unsafe around the criminals? Right? It's starting to sound like to me that some of these lunatics in these liberal cities would much rather have criminals around than police, right? They feel safer around criminals than police, which really blows my mind. I really don't get it, okay? But that brings me to kind of the bad news here of this story, is that this type of demonization of police is one of the reasons why we have police staffing shortages going on across the country, which is contributing to the crime crisis that we are experiencing.
Tonight, there is stunning body cam video of New York City police officers rescuing a man who had fallen onto the subway tracks. The officers had to race across a busy city street to reach the man. A Good Samaritan was already trying to help, and together they lifted him out of harm's way. Seconds later, a train rolled into that station. And that's just one of the many life-threatening tasks police officers face every day. But now, as CBS's Omar Villafranca reports, retirements are up and new recruits are in short supply.
At the Tulsa Police Department, Cheyenne Walden was not part of a full graduating class of recruits.
It's something I've always wanted to do, so it's not a job, more of a career.
Tulsa Police Chief Wendell Franklin is struggling to fill about 150 spots.
There was a lot of scrutiny placed upon law enforcement, and I think that soured a lot of interested people that wanted to go into the profession. They have made a detour and they've gone and done something else.
While new officer hirings were down in the last 3 years, a survey by a national organization of police executives shows retirement and resignation rates jumped higher, driven in part by low pay. At smaller departments, officers are sounding the alarm. The University of Oklahoma says they have 28 officers available to respond to calls on campus. OUPD officer Shane Roddy says that number is closer to 20 and adds he hasn't physically trained in an active shooter drill in years.
The University of Oklahoma is just going to have to start funding OUPD so that we can build our staffing levels to the point that we can actually start training again.
In a statement, the university said it recently raised police department salaries on average nearly 8%, but they note the pay raise is coming from open positions that have not been filled. OUPD has also hired 3 more officers and says they will continue to hire more officers in the coming months. Saturdays mean college football. And even with other departments helping on game days,
how are you doing today? Good.
Officers worry about the nightmare scenario with more than 100,000 fans on campus.
There's always going to be the threat of an active shooter or an armed subject coming on to campus and causing death or great bodily harm to the community there.
Do you think that OUPD is adequately staffed to handle any situation like that?
Absolutely not.
An increased fear with decreasing resources. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Norman, Oklahoma.
Yeah, so when the woke revolutionaries and the Democrats say, we never defunded the police, what are you talking about? Well, you kind of did, right? Because the demonization, the disrespect of police officers and the underappreciation really as well too, has led to people retiring, quitting, finding new careers, and making it very, very, very hard for departments across the country to hire police, which has led to staffing shortages, which has contributed to the crime crisis. Okay, and you know who suffers from that? Innocent, law-abiding citizens. Okay, those are the people who suffer the most, and it's something that I took notice of here. Okay, I'm just saying. I just want to point this out. It seems to me that, you know, a lot of times when they identify the police chief, the person in charge of a lot of these police departments, they tend to be black. Okay, especially in some of these liberal cities. Okay, and I just love how, for the most part, when, you know, something happens and these woke revolutionaries are out here protesting the street about police and defunding police, the person in charge tends to be a black person, right? While they're crying systemic racism and white supremacy. And isn't it interesting how that tends to work? Okay, I'm just saying, that's just something I noticed. But again, the demonization, the disrespect, the underappreciation of police in this country, again, is causing massive problems, right? And the thing is that people got to understand that just because you have a few bad apples, that doesn't mean that the whole bunch are bad, right? Again, just like if you see a black person commit a crime, that doesn't mean that all black people are criminals or thugs, right? Or harmful, okay? That's not what it means. And I think people got to realize that. People got to take a step back and realize, okay, what is this leading to? What is the demonization and the hate for police leading to? It seems like these people hate police more than they hate criminals. Guys, can you imagine if these woke revolutionaries hated criminals, right? The people that are really harming communities, that are really taking people's lives as much as they hated the police? We wouldn't have a crime problem, right? We wouldn't have a crime problem. The streets would be clean and they would be safe, right? Because we would support law enforcement and demonize criminals, okay, and discourage criminal behavior, but that's not what we're doing. Okay, what we're doing, again, led by the woke left and the Democrat Party, is that, no, we are honoring criminals, right? We're putting up statues of George Floyd. Okay, if you die at the hands of police, especially if you die at the hands of a white police officer, you're probably going to get a statue. You're going to get praise. You're going to get honored. It doesn't matter if you lived your life, again, as a negative contributor to society. Doesn't matter, right? It seems to me we value thugs and criminals more than we value the people who are supposed to be there to protect and serve. Now, again, doesn't mean that police shouldn't be criticized. Doesn't mean that police shouldn't be held accountable. But again, this extreme demonization of police to the point where, again, you want to defund them. You want to kick them out of restaurants. You want to treat them like dirt. You want to treat them like garbage. Again, the consequences of that are extremely severe. Okay, and they're the most severe for, again, law-abiding citizens that are living in these liberal cities. But then again, I'm not sure, right, why a law-abiding citizen still will be in some of these big liberal cities in the first place, but I'm just saying. The consequences are devastating. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.